All right, hello everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of the Zero Disrespect podcast. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Jack Nichols, Zack. How you guys doing today?
Good.
It's Thursday, March 7th, 2019. It's about 7:45 right now. Spring break's coming up. What are you guys doing for spring break? I'm excited. We get a week off. What are you guys doing?
I'm going home. So
Going home?
yeah.
I'm going home too. Buckeye Donuts, B Weaver, shout out. Shout out to B Weaves right now. Can't wait tomorrow night.
I will be at my dad's house sleeping. So it's gonna be really fun. Nothing too exciting coming up right now. Just spring break, getting a little rest from college. It's really been a
much needed rest.
Yeah. We didn't have a fall break, so midterms killed me. I don't know about you guys, but
it wasn't like so much like the exams, just the amount of work for some reason I had was so much more than I've had this entire semester.
Yeah, it's a workload. So if you come to Kentucky, just FYI, it's you're putting in a lot of hard work. So
it's just all dropped at once.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for real. Yeah. No, it's I totally understand that. That's college life, I guess. So. Transitioning on, spring break's coming up. We got a lot of big games coming up next week. Sadly, we won't be able to cover that because we will be in two different states. Jack will be in Ohio. We'll be in McLean County, Kentucky. So no Zero Disrespect podcast next week, but the week after we will be grinding so hard. We'll be covering an SEC tournament.
It might be a late stream because we have tournaments all day.
Yeah,
when we get back.
We'll be very busy the week we get back with not only school but with the podcast as well, and watching basketball, doing our research, as you consider, investigative journalism and whatnot. Let's jump right into it. Kentucky versus Ole Miss. It was a bounce back game for Kentucky. If we look at the stats here, we have. We have Kentucky 80, and then Ole Miss 76. Hard fought game from both teams. Zero disrespect to Ole Miss. I mean, they put up a fight. They were excellent on the boards. They killed us on rebounding. That's why they were so close offensively, I think. Because if you look at their offensive rebounds, they had 10 offensive rebounds, whereas we only have 4. Typically that's switched, but with Reed out, I can definitely see where
it just shows how big of a factor he is on the glass.
Yeah, without a doubt. I wouldn't say he's our Zion. I'd say Zion is their Reed. That's the bias right there. Kelton Johnson popped off. He had 22 points, player of the game, 50% from the field goal, 3% for free throws, which is normal for him pretty much, which is really sad. But hopefully he'll kick that up during tournament time. But
not too many turnovers this time.
Yeah, we limited turnovers big time. We only had 7 total, which is fantastic compared to the 20 we were averaging the past 2 or 3 games. Fouls, we weren't fouling much. As usual, we're pretty good when it comes to keeping our hands up and not drawing fouls. Or we're good at drawing fouls, but the other team is not. If you look at Davis from Mississippi, 25 points. He went off today or the other day as well. Hard fought battle by Ole Miss, but Kentucky came away with the win, and that was due in part to Ole Miss not shooting 3-pointers very well. Yeah. We guarded the perimeter very well, which is something that we have to do quite frequently. We only shot 4 for 9, which is unlike us, especially with Reed being out. Because he's a powerhouse in the paint. So you'd think we'd be shooting more outside at the perimeter, but we weren't. So 44% from the line. So it was really good. Free throws, 70%. It was really well. We did really well on that too. Ashton was passing the ball this time. We got some steals like we're used to. Nick Richards was blocking boards, and P.J. Washington. Let's talk about him. He turned up in the second half.
He got kind of screwed first half with fouls.
Yeah.
Again.
He had what, 2, 3?
2 in the first half.
Yeah, 2 in the first half.
He got kind of screwed there again. It's a shame to see.
Yeah. Put it honest, but
yeah.
Now, Zach, what'd you think?
It was a good game. Like you said, obviously it was close. But I think in the end we knew that Kentucky had to step it up. They had more to prove. They're fixing to finish out the season, so I think they did have something to prove tonight. And Keldon Johnson did a great job, and really overall, I think they all did a great job.
Yeah, I seen in this game they were playing as a team again.
Yeah.
You know, Ole Miss, they're unranked, but if you look at the record, they're 19-11.
They're a tournament.
Yeah, they're going to be an upset team in this tournament. You know, I can see them being about a 10 seed probably.
That's what they're at right now.
Yeah, so I can definitely see them upsetting the 7. Yeah, they play 7 seeds, so I can definitely see them upsetting a 7 seed. Going on, maybe to the Sweet 16. I mean, Ole Miss is a very good basketball team.
Yeah,
you know,
if they're hitting shots.
Yeah, they got to hit their shot. I mean,
8 for 25 from 3 is not going to win you a game.
That is rough. That's 1/3. Every 1/3 they'll make a shot. So don't count Ole Miss out. They played a hard-fought battle against a Wildcat team that's down in their dumps right now. Reed Travis being out, we didn't have that many. Well, we had E.J. Montgomery and Nick Richards, obviously. But they don't bring the aggressiveness like Reed Travis does. So congratulations to Kentucky for pulling out that win. And hopefully they can carry it out to this Saturday, a couple days from now, against Florida at Rupp Arena. So they'll be coming back home. It's senior night, so Johnny David and Reed Travis.
You better score.
Yeah, I hope John. I think usually in high school, the seniors get to start. You think?
No, they do. Yeah, he'll start.
He'll start. Okay,
yeah.
Good. I didn't know if it was the same.
I don't know if he'll score, but he'll start at least.
Yeah, he definitely should. He's fought hard just to sit on the bench. He grinds in practice every day. He's always, anytime we go to the games, like pre-games, he's always the first one out on the court pretty much, and the last one to leave. So, congratulations, Johnny David. Senior night is coming up. Well, senior afternoon, pretty much. CBS is covering that this Saturday. And Reed Travis, I don't know if he'll be. I doubt he'll play, but I don't know if he'll also be on the court. Just because he's a graduate student. So who knows for that one either. But congratulations, Johnny David and Reed Travis both.
He already had a senior.
Yeah, he's already had his senior. He can have. He's gonna try to get 2. He's trying to get that extra year.
2-year seniors.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That game against Florida is going to be somewhat tough. Let's look at the stats for this. Kentucky already has an 87% chance to win against Florida. Florida's been struggling as of late, although they almost did beat LSU, yet the referee saved them again.
Yeah.
So, Jack, you watched that game. What did you think about that?
Florida had a chance. They really did.
He was close all throughout.
Kind of blew it at the end, really. It wasn't really much as the ref's fault as it was Florida.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a weird possession. Win some, you lose some.
Yeah,
they really needed that window, but LSU is the luckiest team in the NCAA right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shouldn't say that right now. They've been caught red-handed. We'll get into that.
Yeah. We'll move into that later. LSU, you're on our kill list right now.
Come on,
they're on everybody's kill list
right
now. So.
Tennessee and Kentucky fans can bond over one thing. It's LSU
exactly.
Right now.
Exactly. Let's look at these stats going into the game right now. PJ Washington all across the board is the season leader pretty much. Assist, you have Ashton Higgins. He's also, turnovers per game. He's about 2.4, so pretty even with Nembhard, right there. And so Hayes and Allen, they both lead in rebounds and points. I think PJ Washington, after that bounce-back game against Ole Miss, is going to do fantastic
stuff. Just
can't
get in foul trouble early.
Yeah, no foul trouble. That goes for EJ as well. EJ, when you get in, you're not supposed to foul. I'm sorry, the refs screw you sometimes, but don't foul, okay? So let's go on team stats. Florida's on a 2-game losing streak. One of those, or both of those coming at home. So maybe if they go away, maybe they'll have a. They beat LSU at LSU. Excuse me, can't talk today. They beat LSU at LSU here a while back, about a month ago, and so they just couldn't get the job done at home. Kentucky beat them on the road in a hard-fought matchup. We were down by 9 at the half, and came back and won by 11. It's the second time Kentucky's beat Florida this season by 11, and so. With the way Kentucky's going, I see Kentucky winning, obviously.
They'll win.
Just because we're bouncing back. Reed Travis is getting healthier. He's been practicing more and more. Zach, what's the key for Kentucky in this game if they want to win?
Keep it up like they did in Ole Miss. Basically, just work as a team, be aggressive, control the ball, make smart passes and smart shots, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
what about you, Jack?
Rebound the ball.
Yeah.
Ole Miss killed us on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's not. They're probably at the same level as Ole Miss is, and it's at home, so I think we'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But we just can't get in foul trouble like we have been, and we have to rebound the ball.
Mm-hmm. I say, me personally, I think I seen that Florida game against LSU. Florida hit a lot of key threes late in the game, so that's going to be key to Kentucky if they want to win. Because I know Florida's going to keep up in this game, regardless of like their record. I mean, we had a hard-fought matchup against them in Gainesville, you know, so it's going to be a hard-fought matchup at Rupp Arena. Typically, Kentucky has, I mean, if history repeats itself, you know, Kentucky's going to walk away with the win in this one. It's the last home game of the season. They got a lot of momentum riding into the SEC tournament. So, key to winning this game for Kentucky is guarding the perimeter as usual. They did a very good job against Ole Miss, guarding the perimeter, and also limiting turnovers. You know, we've had 20 in the past couple games each. We're averaging that. So, but in the last game we only had 7. So that's a very big improvement. So if Ashton Hagans can handle the ball really well, then I think they can get the job done. So, we'll go this way. Score predictions and player of the game.
I'm gonna go Kentucky. I think they'll, if everything goes according to plan, I think they'll win this pretty easily. I mean, last time we played them, they didn't hit the 3 as well as they usually do. So I think we'll have that under control. It just comes down to not getting into foul trouble. I feel like that's been a problem lately. And if we can stay out of foul trouble and rebound the ball, I think we can win by a lot. And that'll be, I'll say 77 to 62.
Okay,
Player
good.
of the game is going to be Keldon Johnson.
Keldon Johnson, yeah, he's been on fire as of late. Zach, we'll go to you real quick.
Okay. Like I said earlier, if they like control the ball and you know they rebound and they play as a team, they'll do good things in this game as well. I don't know if they're going to beat them by that much. I'd say probably around maybe 7 points, maybe.
7, yeah.
Score-wise, I'll probably say 79 to 72.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd say probably around there. And the player of the game, I will have to agree, will be Keldon Johnson. So,
I'm going to be ballsy here. All right. We say player of the game is Tyler Hero.
Oh God, not again.
I thought about saying that, but I was like, ooh.
He's coming back home. He played amazing in the game against Florida the first time.
And Arkansas last time they were at
Yeah, so I think Tyler Harrell's going to bounce back in this one heading into the SEC tournament. I think Tyler Harrell's going to be player of the game, about 22 points. I say 22 points, 5 of those being threes, you know, so.
I thought you were going to say it's going to go into overtime.
No, not overtime. I'm over 2 on that. No, game day isn't coming here, so hopefully it doesn't go into overtime. Hopefully Kentucky wins by 8. That's what I have winning by. So I'm in the middle of you guys, so it's like 7 and then 15. So I'm around 8. So I say Kentucky wins 75-67. I think it's going to be a hard-fought matchup, but I think Kentucky's going to get away with it in the last about 10 minutes. So, moving forward, we have SEC tournament coming up next week. That's going to be action-packed. Can't wait to watch that. I'll be at Beato's most of the time watching pretty much all the games. So that'll be really fun.
We'll probably eat like 5 meals per...
5 meals per game seems like, every 4 minutes in the first half, so.
We'll be there for a long time,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah. I mean, also after the SEC tournament, ACC, Big Ten, stuff like that, we have the March Madness tournament, and I can't wait to fill out my bracket. I've already tried looking at them.
Already researching
and all that, downloading the app, getting it ready and all that, so.
That's going to be fun.
Already miles ahead of me.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. March Madness is my favorite time of the season. It's like, I'm like a little kid at Christmas during March Madness. I love it. I love the upsets. I love the crazy buzzer beaters and whatnot, so, it's just going to be it's 128 games?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot, so I'm pretty excited about that. But also, during this March Madness tournament, we have to pick our number 1 seeds. So, obviously, I'll start off. Gonzaga, they're the number 1 overall seed right now. They're number 1 ranked. So, I think Gonzaga's going to head in with a pretty easy way to get to the Final Four. I think Gonzaga, number 2 seed, I believe it'll be Virginia. I think Virginia, the only 2 losses have come from Duke. Duke's fallen off as of late. I still have them at the number 3, just because Zion's going to be there. He'll be back, and they love Zion Williamson more than LeBron James. Hot take. Once he gets
Is that a hot take?
Oh,
they're crucifying LeBron James right now.
Yeah, they hate LeBron James right now. He's just you'd think SportsCenter's in LA, so you'd think they would go berserk, Congratulations to LeBron James, by the way, passing Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list at number 4. So love the Lakers. So I have Gonzaga number 1, Virginia number 2, Duke number 3, and Tennessee number 4. I think Tennessee's going to do big things in the SEC tournament. I think Kentucky will do bigger things, but record-wise and the big games they played, I think Tennessee's going to be the number 4 seed. I think North Carolina's going to be the overall number 2 seed. I say this because I don't want 3 teams as the number 1 seed in the ACC. 3 teams in the ACC.
It'll be 3 teams, but
I don't think so.
I think it'll be definitely 2 teams.
Yeah, without a doubt. So Gonzaga, Virginia, Duke, Tennessee. So.
I would say Gonzaga, Duke, Virginia, Tennessee.
So you switch Duke and Virginia pretty much, okay?
Yep.
All right.
I don't know if we heard yours or not yet, but
oh boy, okay. Maybe get some hate for this one, but I stand by it. I have Gonzaga number 1. I mean, they haven't done anything to not get the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't blame them for their schedule. It's their conference.
they're
whatever.
crazy offensively,
Yeah.
though.
And they beat Duke already this season with Zion, with missing the players. So I don't see how you can justify any other team being the number 1 overall seed. Don't at me, okay?
Yep.
Number 2, I have UNC. They beat Duke. I mean, they did lose to Virginia, I guess, but they beat Duke, who's beaten Virginia twice.
Yeah.
I think they look like one of the top teams right now, and if I were Kentucky, I would not want to play them anytime soon.
Yeah.
Especially the way we're playing.
If I were
right now.
any team, I wouldn't want to play them.
Yeah. They play Duke Saturday too, so
Yeah.
that would be a good game to watch. I don't know if Zion is playing or not, but that would be a good game to watch.
Yeah.
I feel like that would tell a lot too about seeding wise as well. I feel like number three 1 seed I have is Tennessee. They're looking pretty strong right now, considering what they just did to Kentucky.
Yeah.
So, based on the record, some quality wins, I guess, if you count Kentucky.
Hey, we stomped them by 17.
Yeah.
They stomped us by 19. But even then, they scored as much as they lost in that win against us.
They're up there just because like SEC's a pretty tough conference this year. I feel like winning that gets you a 1 seed. Mm-hmm. Then in 4 I have Virginia. I hate Virginia because I think they're overrated. Oh my God, don't even get me started on them. But I just don't know who you could put in other than Virginia since they only have 2 losses, both to the same team, which is why I have them at number 4.
See, it's tough for me not putting North Carolina in there, but also it all depends on what happens Saturday. So
yeah,
it all
that's
because
a big influence on it.
North
too.
Carolina and Duke almost have the same record. So if North Carolina beats Duke, they'll have the same record, and it seems like.
And beat them twice.
Yeah, and beat them twice. So that'll hold the tiebreaker. So if that happens, I'll put North Carolina at 3rd, Tennessee at 4th. So yeah, but I definitely have North Carolina as an overall number 1, overall best number 2 seed. Excuse me. That's weird to say sometimes. The first number 2 seed. So yeah, definitely great picks, guys.
It looks like we're shivering. It's like 59 degrees in here.
Yeah, I know it is really cold in here, but it's getting us thinking. It's getting our minds right. Spring break's coming up, all sunny beaches and whatnot.
Not in Ohio.
No, he's going to Ohio. We're going to Western Kentucky. So it's cold all around. It's early March.
Snow season still.
Yeah, I mean it's dark outside, but
It was snowing earlier.
Yeah, it was snowing earlier. It was mostly ice the other day. So maybe that's a sign. Who knows? But I think considering all that Kentucky's been through this year, we'll switch back to Kentucky. The SEC is a very tough conference this year. Typically, it's just usually Kentucky and one other team. So now we have about 4 teams fighting. We have LSU, Tennessee, Kentucky, and South Carolina, just because they have the best rank in the SEC. But you can't count out people like Ole Miss And Alabama's fought hard against
Mississippi
teams too.
State.
Mississippi State, they're very good. Both the Weatherspoon twins are
Did
really
you say
good.
Auburn?
Auburn.
I mean, but like they were like, I mean, they were good in the beginning of the season.
Beginning of the season, maybe, but Auburn's falling off. But it's gonna be a fun SEC tournament, regardless of like who wins. It's gonna be very fun to watch. So, highly recommend you guys watch that. Who do you think is the finals gonna come down to? So we have like what, LSU number 1, Tennessee 2, Kentucky 3rd, and then South Carolina 4. So those are like the people in the quarterfinals. So in the semifinals, it would be Kentucky, Tennessee, if they were to win,
LSU
and then
South
LSU,
Carolina.
South Carolina. Yeah. So in the it'd be semifinals.
Yeah,
If all the top 4 won, who's gonna be the championship? So we'll start this way.
LSU and Kentucky.
LSU, Kentucky.
When it's 8v5, LSU can't lose, and Kentucky can beat Tennessee on a neutral site, I feel like.
Yep. Me personally, and no hate, LSU, Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to overpower Kentucky, just because these kids are young. They don't know what it's like to play in the tournament yet. So I think it'll be a wake-up call before heading into the NCAA tournament. And I have LSU winning.
I can see that very well, but like I said, I've had a good feeling about this season anyway. Like since the beginning, like obviously it was you really doubted it, and for a while they thought we didn't think that they were going to go very far in the NCAA if they.
Well, the beginning of the season, losing to Seton Hall in like the 5th game.
Once Quade Green left, I felt really confident for the season.
Yeah. Once Green went to Washington,
See you later.
We got a Washington of our own that we can use. So.
But, I'd say I think Kentucky and LSU will be the final. And hopefully it'll be our retribution for what happened here.
Oh, I think it definitely will. Kentucky's, they've just got to figure themselves out. I don't know if Reed Travis will be playing in the SEC tournament. I really hope he isn't. And that's going to be what loses them the game if he's not playing. I really want Kentucky to win, don't get me wrong. I love Kentucky sports. I want them to win. But the way they're playing now, they just got to bounce back. They bounced back in the game against Ole Miss. They played great defense. And they just need to rebound, like you said, Jack. They need to rebound in this game against Florida and in the tournament with whoever they play. So, best of luck to all the teams, especially Kentucky, though. I hope nobody gets injured. It's the worst case possible. But speaking of LSU, we all have LSU going to the championship. Will they even go to into the March Madness tournament based on what happened recently? So if you guys don't know what happened, LSU head coach was found offering who was it? One of their top recruits.
I forget his name.
I don't know. It was a top
freshman.
Yeah, he's a freshman. Is he a freshman now?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, we'll look that up real quick. But
he caught me off guard.
I think I don't know. He got caught offering. It was LSU's head coach Will Wade.
Javonte Smart.
And he played really good against Tennessee, or not Tennessee, excuse me, Kentucky. Whenever they played against them in Rupp. So Will Wade, big trouble right now. He offered Javonte Smart money to play for LSU. So this could disqualify them from the March Madness tournament. It did Louisville a few years ago.
I think
not with paying money. That's a
Who would
different
take your
story.
place then, if that did happen? Who do you think would?
I think it'd just be a different team. I think LSU.
Yeah.
What are they, like a 3 seed now? 3 or 4 seed?
Yeah, 3 or 4 seed.
They would just move. They would just move up. They'd kick somebody out.
I think it's just
they'd
too
move like
close.
Marquette up.
I think it's too close to say, oh, you can't be in it. Because they're gonna have to do an entire investigation on it.
Yeah.
And then all that comes with that, appeals, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just think it's too close to say, oh, you're not in the tournament.
Yeah, which it is horrible. But the case with Louisville, it wasn't paying players; it was paying hookers and prostitutes. So, but yeah, I mean, with all this coming up, and they canceled the NCAA video games. Like athletes, should they be paid? I think so. It's gonna happen regardless. I think I wrote a paper on this in high school, and so I'm quite the scholar when it comes. No, I'm kidding. But I think when it comes to athletes being paid, I think there's a certain line that should be drawn. like Zion, he asked Michigan State to pay him, you know, or they
Kansas, it was Kansas.
yeah, it was Kansas.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and you know, they didn't offer him money, so he went to Duke, you know, but
I thought they offered him money.
maybe Duke did.
No, Kansas.
Yeah, they did. They
Yeah,
did.
they offered him like $100,000 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but I mean, regardless, like I think they're gonna find a way to pay players regardless. Like I bet there's still somebody paying. Like I bet Tom Izzo's paying, or excuse me, Romeo Langford right now. I bet he is. You know, because why would Romeo Langford, one of the best point guards, shout out to Alex, one of the best guards in general in the nation, go to a program like Indiana? You know, that's where he's falling right now. That's why he's not going into the
That's why,
draft.
yeah, no one's talking about it.
No one's talking because he went to Big Ten, one of the worst teams in the Big Ten right now. They're pulling off really good wins against other Big Ten teams.
And
So
it's kind of like Anthony Edwards going to Georgia next year.
yeah,
Seeing how bad they are right now, like, how much recognition do you think they're going to get? Like, they're not going to be on TV because no one really cares about Georgia basketball. So you're just not going to get that kind of exposure as you would if you go to like a primetime school.
yeah, exactly. What were you gonna say something?
Well, I was just gonna say, if players did end up getting paid like years ago, if they would have paid them then, everybody's records would be different. I mean, it would have changed everybody's seasons. I mean, could you imagine if John? I was saying this earlier. If John Wall would have stayed longer, like all 4 years
Yeah.
in college, it would have done really good things for our program, and it'd make him even better. Like going into the NBA, he would have got even better from there.
Yeah,
But it's not even to mention that, it's just every team would have like profited like pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
Like once they get a good player, like if they if Zion Williamson, if he got a dude paid him to stay longer, then I mean it would do good things for him.
it would definitely help out with the one and done situation that Kentucky has. I'm not saying Kentucky pays their players. I don't think they do at all, considering we're a one and done school. But I think it would help like the one and done situation that most teams like Duke and Kansas have. You know, so.
What's like going on right now though with like the LSU situation in particular? It's like the Adidas schools.
Yeah.
Like they're like
Yeah.
finessing like certain players go here and certain players
Yeah.
go here, so they can sign contracts with Adidas.
Yeah.
So they're going to Adidas schools so they can wear Adidas stuff.
Yeah,
et cetera.
exactly.
So like, if you're a Nike school, I think you're fine.
Yeah. Not as of late, Zion shoe slipped, so
Yeah.
they're going to be in Adidas school here soon.
He was on an Instagram video wearing all Nike.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I'm glad he's still showing loyalty, I guess. But I think, like.
Or did I say Nike? I meant Adidas.
Oh, he was wearing Adidas.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, Zion, you asshole. But I think paying players, paying collegiate athletes, it has pros and cons. But I think it has a lot more pros than it does cons. It's giving them more incentive to stay, more incentive to go. Well, I wouldn't say more incentive to go to the school. It does do that indeed. But I also think it'll solve the problem, like in these ongoing investigations and whatnot too. So I think it'd be healthy. I mean, they're the ones that bring in the revenue from March Madness. If it wasn't for these athletes, then
It's like $1 billion industry.
yeah, exactly. NCAA profits so much, with sponsorships from like Capital One and Reese's and whatnot, Coca-Cola. It's in the national championship, not even the national championship, the UNC Duke game about a few weeks ago. A price for that was like a few $100s lower than the Super Bowl tickets. So that's one college game regular season. So it's like, it's, I don't know. I think they should pay.
Yeah.
So. You guys got any more thoughts on this?
No. How about we move into the NBA?
I was about to say, you have your Suns rant coming up, so I'll let you take
I
the
thought
floor.
about saving that for after break, but we can do it now.
We
can do
it
it now.
Go down.
We can do it now if we want to.
We're going to Jack's corner right now.
All right. So if you're not familiar with the Phoenix Suns, which is
Well, history lesson.
there's a pretty good probability that you are not familiar with the Phoenix Suns, considering how bad they have been since someone by the name of Robert Sauver took over as owner in 2004.
Okay. Steve Nash days. They're there.
This dude has just completely ruined the Suns' legacy. I mean, when you think about the Suns, they have so many like good players that like played for them. They had Charles Barkley, and Steve Nash, both great players.
Once Carter played for him.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Once a respected franchise. I mean, it wasn't too long ago either. I mean, you could consider them like a playoff team too, but it's just like, I don't know what's like happened ever since this dude has taken over. They have just fallen off the map. And it is just painful to watch every single season your team just like go into the lottery, going into tank mode every single year, and then still doing horrible the next season. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So he's the root of the problem. I think everyone, at least every Phoenix fan knows that he's the root of the problem right now. If you haven't seen this article, there's an article on ESPN detailing this idiot and his reign as Suns owner. So when he hired the old GM, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his first name was Ryan. I'm not going to butcher his last name, but I'll put when I re-upload this, I'll link the article in the description. But when he first hired that dude, he put a bunch of goats in his office. Not kidding you, like as a metaphor that Phoenix needs to get their own goat, or the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Well, the goats didn't understand this symbolism of what the owner was trying to do, so they shit all over the dude's office.
That's pretty much what he's done to the Phoenix organization.
Pretty much.
Essentially.
Pretty
he
much.
is their goat. He shit on everything, you know.
And then not only that, this dude fires him. I thought he did a pretty good job as GM, not going to lie. I mean, he made really good draft choices. I'll go into that in a second. But he fired him 8 days before the season started. And he went on TV saying, yeah, we had trades in the works and a bunch of stuff like this. And I mean, like, I don't get that. If you're going to fire a dude, at least do it, like, before the draft so you, like, can get some sort of guy in there to, like, establish relationships before starting the season. I mean, he is your GM.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to deal with all the players and whatnot. And it just didn't make any sense to me. But going into, like, the draft decisions we've had these past few years, I mean, this dude came in, I mean, he drafted Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Josh Jackson, and had that trade to get us Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
All great players. They've played really well this season, every single one of them. Devin Booker is a superstar in the making.
Yeah.
If you could consider him a superstar right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just something else. Dropped 70 that one game, dropped 41 last night.
Yeah.
They are on a 3-game
After
win
he
streak.
said he would drop 40.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, and they're on a 3-game win streak. I mean, you can't be mad about that, but it's just like, it's more like, it's kind of like a Dallas Cowboys situation where your players are good. It's kind of like making it look like you can save face. You can do as little as possible, but like, I don't know. It's
We're
just
getting
like,
there. But,
yeah, it's like you're on the verge of
we
greatness.
You got these old white guys holding us back, you know? But,
yeah, I mean, they're a young team. I get that. But it's just they lack leadership right now.
I think that's what it is.
They're not getting any of that from the front office.
Yeah.
I mean, their GMs right now are James Jones, former NBA player, and apparently he's not scouting shit right now. He's only been to 12.
He's trying to get back
basketball
in there
games.
right now.
12 basketball games, college basketball games for scouting. That's all he's done.
Yeah.
And you have probably number 1 or number 2 pick in the draft. It's like between us and the Knicks right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, either way, like, you know, you're going to get a good pick. Like, you're either going to get Zion or RJ Barrett.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So you can't go wrong with whatever pick you
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's just so you should probably go to the games, see how that player would fit in your system you're running before just deciding to draft him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how well is Zion going to fit in with Devin Booker? How well, or will John Morant, would he fit in better with them? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of have to make that decision.
I mean, I think John Morant, he's the best point guard, I think,
That's what
in the
Phoenix is
nation.
lacking right now.
You know, I can see John Morant, Paul Bridges, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. That'd be a
Kelly
powerhouse.
Oubre has gone off.
yeah.
And if they do not re-sign him this season, I don't know. I don't know how much longer I can survive out here if they do not re-sign that man.
You know, the Suns, even though they are young and their front office is grubbage, I think, you know, they're all stars in the making. You know, I see them. I see
under
them.
the radar this season.
I see them as like a Thunder from like 2012. I see a Kevin Durant. I see a Russell Westbrook, a James Harden, a Kendrick Perkins, a Serge Ibaka. I can see them like with the Suns forming. You know, especially with Devin Booker and Ayton. They're all doing wonderful stuff.
Kelly Oubre wants to say it.
Yeah.
He said he wants to start a dynasty with everyone here. It is possible. That's the thing that drives me crazy. It is possible, but you can fuck it up so bad if you really let that dude do it. Because that's the thing. They say like the old GM always was like trying to keep his job and didn't really stand up to the owner, and he always meddled in decisions and stuff. Mm-hmm. Which is why you had some of those weird draft picks like Dragon Bender, who's averaging like 5 points ever since he's been in the league. And he's starting for the Phoenix Suns right now.
Are most of them like in the G League or over like
Alex Lynn is no longer on the team.
Alex Lynn.
Yeah. But I think
his cousin Jeremy didn't wear off on him.
Yeah, I don't know. That guy's like not in the league. That guy's on the Hawks now. So they're just as bad. I
like most of like the draft picks or whatever are like.
But those were like the only two. Yeah, those were the only two bad ones I think they've had.
Yeah.
Since that one dude took over. I mean, Josh Jackson. Yeah, I went over those before. Those are all great picks.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the owner has been like known to like attack players after games or like tell coaches they're doing something wrong or even heckle them during games.
Yeah, no,
I mean, like, how low can you go, bro?
You need an owner. You need an owner like Steve Ballmer for the Clippers, the one that sits courtside every game, cheers them on.
Or like have that. Trust in your fellow like front office to do the right thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for real. That's the same thing with the Lakers. I think it's not just the team itself. I mean, the team itself can improve tremendously, obviously. But I think it's the head coaching job more than anything. Luke Walton is not a head coach. He's a former NBA player. He won a ring with the Lakers in 2010. That's about it. He doesn't have much else to his resume. So I think that goes along with like what you're saying too.
Yeah. I mean, part of that's LeBron. I'm getting that to get into that in a second. Do not let me forget about that. I forgot where I was now though. Anyway,
you need an owner front office.
Yeah, front office. Just a disaster. Oh, and that guy threatened to switch cities just because he didn't get money to renovate the arena or something. I mean, like, he's just like alienating the entire fan base.
Yeah.
When he's doing that too, and it's just like so frustrating. Like I keep saying that, but it is like really frustrating to like watch right now. And it is really, really, really hard right now.
See, that was me with the Braves a few years ago when they had the third worst record in the league. It's a rebuilding process. It takes a while, but once you get there, once you get to the big stage, it makes all the victories even more sweeter. So best of luck to you and your Phoenix Suns, me and my Atlanta Braves, and you and your Cash Daniel following bass fishing thing. But you don't really have a baseball or basketball team. Cavaliers, you're a Cavaliers fan, so best of luck to you.
Best of luck to me.
Oh my gosh, that's a travesty. I'll see you. Your two teams will see each other in like the 2072 finals probably. But if the NBA still exists, who knows? But
they can be great. They can be great.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like on the verge.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think of that Zion join that team, they'd be so good. Even if John Morant joined that team, they'd be good.
I always wonder
what just like one piece away. It feels like.
I always wonder what colors Zion would look better in, blue and orange, or purple and orange. Either way, he's going to a team with orange in it.
Purple and orange.
Purple and orange.
That's what I say.
No, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, can't turn that down in New York.
Devin Booker, DA. I mean, that's a team. See, if you're joining like the Knicks, you have maybe like 3 years on that team. If you have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Both of those guys have personalities, so who knows how well that locker room is going to be handled.
That's gonna
be a mess to handle.
Yeah, it's for real going to be insane to deal with. But we all know Zion's going first, regardless of how he's going to play going forward. He's going first. The dude's a tank. He's a great ball player, and wherever he goes, either Phoenix, New York, wherever he goes, he's going to do great things. So, but either way, like even if you get like John Morant, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish,
I don't want R.J. Barrett.
You don't want R.J. Barrett. I don't think he was the best Duke player in the first half of the season. He was being overlooked by Zion, but like the second half, he hasn't done much.
He's chokes in the clutch. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. John Morant, he doesn't get enough credit, even though he's
so good.
He is amazing. Murray State, Johnson, shout out to Murray State over there.
Tyler Johnson is not.
I was about to say,
he's not a elite point guard, one that can carry you to the championship. I mean, I guess they're going for Terry Rozier. I'd like that. He's a pretty solid point guard. Better than Tyler Johnson. He's trash.
So when I think of like championship point guards, I think of Steph Curry,
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving, Derek
I
Fisher,
mean, Terry
Tony
Rozier
Parker.
is young. Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean, just about as young as everyone else in that team.
yeah, for real. You know what?
Devin's only 22.
Yeah, he's got a stable of a future ahead of him. He's gonna do great things. Not just because he went to Kentucky. That's just one reason why he's gonna be great. But no, he didn't have to be paid either.
But what sucks is they took Dragon Bender over fucking Jamal Murray.
That's rough.
Imagine if
That
they
is
had
rough.
Jamal Murray.
You guys would be.
You have a backcourt of Jamal Murray and Devin Booker.
It'd be great. That'd be lethal.
They'd be in the playoffs already.
They'd be lethal. They would be lethal, without a doubt. So, lots of NBA news coming up. In the future after March Madness.
Kind of like
too.
the Lakers.
We'll get. This has been a zero disp, no.
No. We have to talk about the Lakers. Take it away. You start.
I don't want to talk about it.
I
I don't want to talk about
these
these.
already. You can kick this one off.
Well, if you haven't paid attention, the Lakers
Playoff mode has been deactivated. Is one way to say
They
it.
have they've lost 4 out of the past 5 games, 4 in a row. And this was right after the New Orleans Pelicans game where they won. I said they would make the playoffs. They are 8 games out from the number 8 seed with approximately 15 games to go. The Lakers are not going to make the playoffs.
The Lakers stink.
The Lakers stink, as Stephen A. Smith would say. Much to the chagrin of Phoenix Suns, Lakers still have a better record, just saying. No, I'm kidding. That's because they have LeBron.
Hey, we're getting a better draft pick.
That is true. We're not getting anything. So we gave all our money to LeBron, which I'm not mad about. I think LeBron's a wonderful player. I think he has to adapt to a much younger team, whereas in Cleveland,
They're all older.
Yeah, they had experience. These guys are just sophomore, juniors in the NBA right now, 2nd or 3rd year players. I think him and with the team he has, you gotta think Kuzma, JaVale McGee, he's experienced right there. Kuzma,
He's
JaVale
trash,
McGee, he has potential to be he has a lot of potential.
Straight garbage.
I don't know. He's the best center on the Lakers right now, and that's saying something.
Tyson Chandler, former Phoenix Sun.
I don't know about Tyson Chandler. He's I see little gray hairs in that bald head too. So
Spirit.
yeah, exactly. Lonzo Ball, great off-ball defender, not the best on offense. So much to the chagrin of the Phoenix Suns, Lakers have a lot to improve on going forward. They got 3 more years on LeBron's contract, so maybe they can get him a ship with that. Who knows? It's gonna be fun rest of the contract for LeBron. But I think Lakers are gonna have a first round pick. Pretty sure. And
Unless they trade it.
unless they trade it away, which could definitely happen. They're going to need to get somebody else by LeBron, somebody that, if you think about it, LeBron's in control of that whole organization right now, it seems like. So whoever LeBron wants, LeBron's going to try to get, So that's caused a lot of tension with his team, with the teammate chemistry that they're building and whatnot. So, just got to figure something out quick, before his contract runs out, because I don't see him staying in Los Angeles if he keeps getting records like this. So this will be the first year he's missed the playoffs since his rookie season. So, and that's bad news.
Weird.
Bad news. It's gonna be weird in seeing.
I'll admit that. I'm glad, but it's gonna be weird.
It is gonna be really weird. So, any other thoughts? Yeah, Jack over
I need to
here.
jump on
Jack's
this for a
corner
second.
yet again.
So LeBron destroys every single organization he goes to. Let's just put that out into the universe right now. So, besides the Miami Heat, and I'll tell you why. So, when
I
he
don't
left
think he
Cleveland-
destroyed the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they just played a better Warriors team.
When he left Cleveland the first time, they were a disaster.
Oh well, all right, yeah, I'll agree with that.
They're a complete mess. I mean, they were just
2 number 1
They were
picks.
They were the Phoenix Suns of what they are now,
Yeah.
pretty much. Even though they're just as bad right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Anyway, he goes to the Heat, right? Plays the Heat, wins 3 national championships with them.
2.
2, and then goes back to Cleveland. When he was at Miami, he wanted to run that organization like he is right now with the Lakers and how he did with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He wanted the coach fired. Pat Riley was like, no, you're not coming here and telling us what to do right now. And he wanted like to make all these stupid ass trades and like do what he's doing at Los Angeles, destroy everything that's going on, destroy all the chemistry, whatever. And Pat Riley, great owner, and Eric Spoelstra, a great coach, were like, no, you're not pushing us around. We're not dealing with this right now. Mm-hmm. And look what they did. Won 2 championships. He comes back to Cleveland, won his championship that one year because like, they didn't mess, Kyrie Irving, they didn't mess with anything. But then that season when Kyrie wanted to leave, he blows up his entire team at that trade deadline. Just a weak Eastern Conference is why he got to the finals that year, first of all. And that team's just in shambles after that. He goes to the Lakers, look at them. They're a disaster. They're a laughingstock again.
Well, granted though, also, Lakers were a disaster before LeBron got there. You know,
they're more of a disaster now, though.
No, I don't think so. I think
yes,
they're getting better. They're getting better. That's the thing. LeBron has that effect. You know, he didn't win the first year he went to Miami. He lost to the Dallas Mavericks, and then he won the next year. So the thing what LeBron needs though is he needs somebody with experience right now. He has very young players right now. When he went,
he's getting rid of. That's the thing. He's getting rid of all of them.
When he went into Miami though, he had Chris Bosh, arguably a great power forward. In his prime right there, and Dwayne Wade, you know, hometown Dwayne Wade. So you have Dwayne Wade, and you had Mario Chalmers, which was good at the time. You know,
he's so good.
Yeah, I mean when they have those 4, I don't know who the other one was. I didn't pay attention to the Heat, but it was some bald guy. We had Ray Allen, in 2014. They're the reason they won the championship.
Chris Anderson,
Birdman, Birdman, Mohawk and whatnot. But you know, I think LeBron and not even LeBron. I think the Lakers need somebody else for that matter, with experience. You know, I think this is a very young team. They can't make the playoffs by themselves. They definitely need some help. So front office is going to have to make some sacrifices here going forward. But you know, I think Lakers will be a playoff team. You know, coming forward. You know, I think it's going to be motivation for LeBron to do a lot better. You know, so. Say what you will. Say what you will.
They're not getting anyone this offseason. They're going to be shipped in the next years to come.
He's treating you like you treat him when he talks about the Cowboys. That's kind of what he's.
Well,
the Cowboys made the playoffs at least.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
They won a game in the playoffs too.
That is true. That is true. But you know, I don't know. Lakers, I have faith in you. I have faith in you. LeBron's just gotta have faith in the front office, though. That's the thing. That's the only thing. So, anybody else got any last second thoughts?
I hate you, Robert Saber, and I hate the Los Angeles Lakers, and I hate LeBron James.
This has been the Zero Disrespect. By the way, guys, I hope you have a wonderful break. By the way, it's gonna be everyone.
Shout out to Me Weaves, Kelly, Nathan Kelly, Colin
the Bailey Preach just commented. The guy in the middle is mad cute. I don't know what you're talking about, but
hey Bailey, did you subscribe?
Yes, she did. She did.
Okay,
shout out to Braden too, by the way. He's a really good friend of Bailey's. He's watching. He has the face going on right there. So I appreciate that. But you know, like I said, hope you all have a wonderful break if you're watching this. And Jack, we're gonna miss you. I'll see you almost every day. But Jack, we'll miss you. I hope you enjoy your Buckeye donuts.
Oh man, I cannot wait.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be awesome.
I cannot wait. I'm gonna need like a review.
Yeah.
Put a video on the live stream or whatever.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't run into Simone Biles. But anyway.
She better hope I don't run into her.
Yeah. You and Simone Biles are like me, the whole entire basketball team, right?
And football. Well.
Not so much football. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Zero Disrespect Podcast. We will be back in 1 week's time on Wednesday. And we hope you enjoy the SEC tournament and the March Madness tournament in general. We'll be live streaming some of those games coming up. So this has been the Zero Disrespect Podcast. Unique people, different opinions, and still zero disrespect.